this thing on? Are we live? Guys, I just laid down to bed. One of my viewers, and this is something most of you guys do, is you're just laying in bed before you're just doing your little wind down and you're waiting for the right moment to fall asleep. Well, I was like right at that moment, about ready to put the phone down, check one more thing, and one of my viewers is like, hey, the Lexus Australia page just debuted the brand new first ever EV vehicle for Lexus. So I'm like, it's party time. Let's make the video. Let's go. That's right, the studio is up and running now. We need to cover this first electric vehicle ever from Lexus. This is really, really big. This is momentous, guys. I've been waiting for this for years now is what it feels like. And I just finished filming a video. That video is gonna have to wait. I mean, it was not nearly as fun and exciting as this one. Even though I might look like a zombie on the inside, guys, my inner self is really, really super duper freaking excited. So let's cover it. Okay, we're over at the Lexus Global Newsroom. This one's actually translated straight from Japanese. And why am I picking this site to cover? Well, yeah, the European site covers it, maybe another one like Australian possibly. But the thing is that this one, to me, offers the most information as well as the most pictures, which I will be showing for you guys throughout the video. November 22nd, 2019. The day Lexus decided to usher forth the future. World premiere of the Lexus first EV commercial model, UX 300e EV crossover, the first electrification vision Lexus electrified. Now, some of these things, since it is translated straight from Japanese, it's not going to make that much sense, but that makes it more fun. Pursuit of high quality driving and quietness unique to Lexus EV, high reliability and convenience of electrification technology cultivated by a hybrid. You could say, yeah, the hybrid technology, they've been working on it for so long. Is it for nothing? No, it's for the future. The hybrid was kind of like a stopgap for the future. And there it is. It looks just like a UX because it is a UX. There's nothing wrong with that. The UX is a great car. It's possibly the best value right now for Lexus. I take that back. The ES is an extraordinary value, but if you want an all-wheel drive Lexus for about 40 grand, the UX fits the bill. Now, let's get into this UX 300e because this is the most exciting thing that I've covered for a while. The RAV4 Prime was pretty exciting as well. The Lexus LC convertible, pretty exciting. But this is, guys, I feel like this is a long time coming. Lexus will be held in Guangzhou, China from November 22nd to December 1st at the Guangzhou, and I'm probably butchering this, motor show. Unveiled Lexus first electric vehicle commercial model UX 300e for the first time in the world. The UX 300e, the first EV commercial model, was developed to improve the fundamental value of the car by taking advantage of the potential of EVs, specifically while maintaining the distinctive design, high convenience, and ease of handling that the compact crossover UX has. The high quality characteristics of the Lexus EV are pursuing clean and deep and pursuing excellent quietness. Period. Japanese translation, like I said. In addition to a natural acceleration-deceleration feel that closely matches the driving sensation of the driver, an excellent acceleration performance with a high-power motor, a low center of gravity, and a cruising range of, here it is, 400 kilometers. Guys, let me get out the calculator real quick. 250 miles. You know, here's the thing. I don't know if I was like foreseeing this in some way, possibly. I saw a Hyundai Kona today, and you guys are probably aware of the Hyundai Kona EV. It is very similar to this vehicle in size, definitely not in price, but maybe with the EV, actually EV to EV price might be very similar. But that range is very similar. I think it has around 260 miles of range. This car is going to be heavier because it's going to have a lot more sound dampening and things like that, much higher quality materials since it being a Lexus. But 400 kilometers of range is actually more than we were expecting. You know, we were thinking, hey, this electric Lexus EV, oh, they're not going to bring it to America. And the reason is it's too small and the range isn't going to be good enough. But 250 miles of range is respectable. I mean, that is absolutely good enough for your first ever EV here in America. I was thinking it was going to be somewhere half of that. Why? The fact that they're only marketing this to Europe and China, I'm like, it probably is just a small battery pack, not capable of going too far here in our huge American landscapes, I should say. Long highways, not a lot of fuel station, or I should say electric station chargings along the way. I can't talk right now. Not a lot of charging stations along the way in America yet. That is changing. They will probably bring this vehicle to America sometime. Let's start this over a little bit. A low center of gravity and a cruising range of 400 kilometers are realized by placing a large capacity battery under the floor. In addition, the latest connected technology has been adopted to maximize the value of the EV while aiming for a bi-level twin with exercise performance and everyday usability. The UX300E will be released in 2020, starting with the China and European markets, and will be released in Japan in the first half of 2021. So Japan's still not getting this for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half from now. That's kind of surprising because you would think Japan gets these vehicles first. That is something I wasn't expecting. Main features of the UX300E: pursuit of high quality driving and quietness unique to Lexus EV. In addition, the driver mode select allows you to enjoy the powerful acceleration feeling unique to EVs that instantly increase torque in response to pedal operation. In addition, by selecting the deceleration from 4 stages by the paddle shifters, the vehicle can be operated in the same way as an engine braking of a gasoline vehicle, enabling natural operability while making the most of EV characteristics. In order to further refine the high basic performance of the GAC platform, we have tuned every detail to match the changes in motion characteristics due to the use of EV, such as adding braces and optimizing the damping force of the shock absorber. In order to further enhance a quietness unique to EVs, the underfloor battery has a function as a sound insulation wall, and also considers wind noises and hoisting sounds such as pebbles and sand that can be heard. There is no sound of engine or transmission. A comfortable tranquility of the indoor space is realized. The driver's natural driving sensation was valued, and the sound during driving was also taken care of. By adopting active sound control, which, guys, we just saw this active sound control, the Lexus LC500 convertible, they're using it there as well. It realizes a comfortable driving environment where you can feel the driving situation of the vehicle, provides a comfortable sound for the drivers and passengers. So the UX300E motor main specifications. It looks like this is a front wheel drive only vehicle. They haven't mentioned anything else, but it just says front here. Now they call it the 4KM. It gives you about 204 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. Here's my awesome diagram of the EVs that Toyota and Lexus can definitely come out with. So this is essentially using one of the medium motors that I hypothesized on, which has 201 horsepower. Let's get back to the article. You guys, you can pause it here if you want to look into these things that I've been coming up with. And look here, this is my original hypothesis of the UX300E was 120 horsepower. Well, we have a lot more than that. And again, I was thinking that this vehicle is going to be a lot smaller. The range was going to be much more limited. Now, 223 miles, I wasn't that far off, but I thought it was going to be due to a very low power motor. Well, if you look here, I was thought 120 horsepower. We'll be getting 150, actually 201 horsepower. So 80 horsepower more than I was expecting this vehicle to get, which is very, very awesome to see. And the fact that we're going to be seeing 250 miles of range, aka 400 kilometers, is also super cool and wasn't expected. So battery specs here: lithium ion battery. Here's the capacity, 54.3 kilowatt hours. Going back, I have a couple small battery options here. So this might be their smallest battery option, at least for now, unless they put something smaller in like a Yaris EV, which is actually another size smaller. It's in the TNGA-B platform. But this would be one of the smaller variants of that battery, and you can see here that it can scale all the way up. That with that range of battery, so they definitely have improved the amount of range they can get out of their batteries. This was the previous leaked information, but it looks like we're going to be able to get more. Now, that might have been average, meaning your range is going to go down depending on the vehicle, right? The heft of the vehicle, the aerodynamics. This might be kind of on the higher range of kilowatt hours and how many miles you can get out of it, because now instead of 50 translating into about 100 and let's say 107, 186, we're getting 54 here converting to 250. What would have required previously over 60 kilowatt hour battery, they're getting it now in a 54 kilowatt hour battery. So their efficiency in the battery has either gone way up, or it is just in a highly efficient package like the UX, something really light, a motor that's not overkill, things like that. So your normal charge is going to be 6.6 kilowatts, and your fast charge is going to be 50 kilowatts. Something doesn't look right here, guys. Is it this shifter? I don't know, but yeah, this shifter here is definitely not what we see here in the American UX. And if you look here, guys, this is something that's also not available in America. I know it's hard for you to see, but this is a panoramic camera. We don't see that in America. This here is your heads-up display. This here is your active sound control. They've also developed a special wheel and underfloor aerodynamic cover to ensure excellent aerodynamic performance. The interior has realized a clean EV-like operation system, such as a center console using shift-by-wire. There you go. Shifting by wire, no longer by cable. So that's why the shifter is different. Okay, so we're going to fly through the pictures here. The amount of space that you see in this rear hatch is more than what you see in the UX hybrid. And how do I know this? Well, in the UX hybrid here, at least here in America, I'm sure it's the same everywhere else, is that there is no drop down from this entry point of the trunk. It is simply flat because the batteries lay under this area. What they've been able to do is give you more cargo space in the fully electric version compared to the hybrid. So that is really cool to see. Of course, you can see the plug-in here. That's traditionally where the gas cap would go. So of course, they just swap out that hardware for your charging hardware. On the inside here, we get a little bit better view of all those things. We're just talking about the LED lit vents here. Your panoramic view camera, heads-up display, active sound control, your regenerative paddle shifters here, the range behind the cluster, the speed here, and then you have a traditional physical gauge for actually the charge of the battery. I kind of like how they did some things still analog in this car. These wheels, of course, are different. They don't look super flashy or anything like that, but definitely very aerodynamic, I guess you could say. And this is the base wheel on the current UX. Of course, this is seen with the triple beams. I've actually never seen the fog lights down here in this slot before. They make them fairly basic here for America for a price point, at least in my region. So we don't typically, I've actually never seen triple beam headlights on a UX in person, nor the fog lights unless it is an F Sport model. So it's cool to see that they're putting all the bells and whistles in this. And I'm sure that you can option it up and down. Of course, the taillights look absolutely beautiful. That's one of my favorite things about the UX. The rear bumper here does look a little cheap still. That's one of my complaints about the look of this vehicle. So the rear bumper does look cheap. Now on the bottom of the vehicle, it looks like it has been a little fattened here at the bottom. It kind of reminds me of a fat cat with a big belly that hangs from it as it waddles around. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But you know what that means? That means low center of gravity. So this thing would be very, I mean, the regular one's already fun to drive. And instead of hybrid here on the left, you see electric. Hold on a sec. Can you charge this from either side? You see this here? It looks like this is a charging port. In the next picture, it's on the left side. So you might be able to charge this from either side. I don't know if any other manufacturer is currently doing that. It makes sense. If they're able to do that, it seems like overkill to me. But what do you guys think? Do you think you can be able to charge this thing from both sides? Yes, you can. Look, that is crazy. That's something they don't mention in the article at all. So you can charge this thing from either side. That's crazy. Here's the birch interior with the blue washi. I mean, it's a very minimalistic design. I think they probably had an electric version in mind for this car when they were designing it. Again, here's the birch with lapis, this blue accent. I really like it. I've seen it a couple times and it always impresses me in person. They have a close up by the shift by wire. This is very LS like or an LC like. You see this right here. This looks like it's straight taken out of the luxury coupe and the luxury sedan from Lexus. That's really cool to see. Wireless charger tucked in back there. Of course, you have your heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats. A nice little close up here. It's going to tell you, what do you call it? It's not fuel economy. I guess your efficiency. That's probably the best way to say energy efficiency. Instead of fuel economy, it'll be energy efficiency here. And you can see down the bottom right is the plug. The plug. I was looking at this. You have a plug-in indicator here, which must mean the car is charging. That would be my guess. 3/4 tank, or what do you say, a 3/4 charge. Again, another indicator down here that says 123 kilometers to empty, or I should say that they need to recharge. If you look here, this is a fun little touch, is that this is like a traditional gas or icon that they have in every single gasoline car, right? Well, at the end of it, they have a little plug-in. So that's kind of a cute touch there from Lexus. Seats fold down just like the regular UX. And then this gives you an idea of the entire setup of the vehicle. So, and if you look here, this doesn't look like it's using the cylindrical cells that we see Tesla using. I know Lexus is using cylindrical cells in some of their hybrids and future EVs you see in China, but it looks like this one has more of your traditional cartridge style battery pack that we see in all of their hybrids. Another look at the battery here. This actually does not look that intimidating compared to when you open the hood on a traditional ICE car. I know this is not the only portion of the vehicle, but this is essentially the heart of an EV, is the battery pack here. And this doesn't look that intimidating to me. I don't think that this would be that difficult to work on. You just have to be careful so you don't, electrocute yourself. But let's say 10 years from now, if you have to replace your battery pack, this doesn't look like it would be that difficult to do. And of course, this is a Lexus app. This is the new app they came out with this past year. So instead of fuel tank, they have the charge here. It'll probably tell you charging rate, when your battery is going to be done charging, that sort of thing. So that would be kind of nice, because then you can leave your car charging, you can go get something to eat, go shop, do what you need to do, go take a poop. I'm just kidding, but maybe. So what do you guys think? I know this is really exciting news. I will be talking more about it, I guess a lot about it in the future. This is just the first step. I feel like this is like the first small step for Lexus, but the first huge step for the company. If that makes sense, I'm trying to make like man on the moon sort of quote. It's not working, but you guys know what I mean. You know how important it is for the company. And it does exceed expectations. The fact that it wasn't coming to America had many of us expecting the range to be very, very limited, but the fact 400 kilometers or 250 miles of range is actually really respectable for a vehicle that is not designed to be really an EV. It's kind of a hybrid platform that can support gasoline, hybrid, and a fully EV. That's pretty good engineering right there to be able to do something like that. The efficiency also is really good. Now I know this vehicle is pretty small, so that might have contributed to the increase in efficiency, or Lexus has also refined or is sourcing really, really high quality batteries to be able to get the maximum distance and power out of this thing. The fact that it's not all-wheel drive is kind of a tough one, and that's probably the biggest reason why this vehicle is not going to make it to America. People want all-wheel drive, especially if you're getting a luxury vehicle. They're going to want all-wheel drive, and that's why the ES, oh, don't get me started on the ES. The Camry's getting all-wheel drive, Avalon's getting all, the ES? No. ES, you got to wait 2 or 3 more years. Come on. But this UX, yeah, that's probably the biggest reason why it's not coming to America. Is one, supply and demand. They don't think that the demand is here in America right now, which is not exactly true. As you guys know, there is a big demand for EVs in America, especially from Lexus and from a reputable automaker. People aren't that scared of buying a Tesla, but I think a lot of people are just waiting for their favorite car brand to come out with something that's competitive. You know, I don't think a lot of people are expecting them to beat a Tesla because they're just not there yet. Could they be if they wanted to? Absolutely. They have all the money in the world essentially to be able to do that. Do they have the technology to do that? Possibly. But they don't want to yet. If they could have, they would. And a lot of people think, oh, you know, Tesla's so far ahead of everyone. Don't count out the big players in the game. They know what they're doing. They're trying to slow this down because there is a lot of money involved in the oil industry still. But this is a good step for Lexus, for Toyota to get this EV out there in some huge markets. China and Europe are huge EV markets. They're going to be able to mass produce this UX in really high numbers. I'm excited to see the sales on it. It will be hitting Japan in first half of 2021. And we still don't know when in 2020 this UX electric 300e will be hitting the European and Chinese markets. But what do you guys think? This is huge news. I could talk for days on this, and I'll probably make tons of videos following up to this because I just enjoy doing it. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you to my Patrons. You guys rock. And all my subscribers, thank you for supporting me, encouraging me to stay up at ungodly hours to make videos on Lexus vehicles that will never come to America at this point. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, I'm going to bed.